60-40.
60 on the front?
For all athletes. See, what I teach is for athletes. I don't teach for weightlifting. Now, weightlifting, maybe, but you've got to know when to take something from one sport and put it into another. And in my opinion, there isn't a sport in the world, and there might be, but generally speaking, I haven't found a sport in the world where I see any justification for a heel drive. It just doesn't, other than weightlifting, powerlifting, sure, knock themselves out. There's 101 ways to teach those sports. There's not just one model. But you tell me a sport where you want to have your weight on your heels. It's like the antithesis of the ready stance. It's like completely counterproductive to what you're attempting to achieve in speed. So everyone's doing this. The weight on the heels, they're externally rotating their wide stance, and how the fuck does that transfer to running in Australia, running on the field? It doesn't. It doesn't transfer to anything.
So for bodybuilding or powerlifting, driving with the heels would be okay?
Well, bodybuilding, what's the justification for it?
I don't know.
I can't think of any either. Weightlifting, maybe. Powerlifting, there's models of teaching that you could justify it. The thing is, with both those sports, they don't run. So they don't find out the implications of the transfer. So it's not just as simple as, look, the weightlifter's strong, I'll use his techniques. You've got to say, you're a running sport athlete, or you're a cyclist, or you're a swimmer, or you're a jumping sport athlete. That's called using simple common sense and objectivity rather than just assuming. Because I've called it the All-American squat. There's been such a dogma about squatting. To your credit, you've picked up on my pelvic tilt teaching, which is not normal because it's been rejected. See, because when I taught it was so different, and then people started coming with, you don't suck in, you push out all this sort of crap around the pelvis, which is, So that's one thing that hasn't really been copied to any great extent. In fact, I've seen my paragraphs copied verbatim, and that little paragraph about the pelvic tilt just kept out of it. So you're actually taking on stuff that the average American isn't taking on when you come to my pelvic tilt position. Good question. Now,